Hi YouTube, this is Eve the Weed. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm on the road to 1,000 subs. I just want to see how fast I can get there. It all depends on me though. I just wanted to make a quick update because you know the Joe Budden podcast has dropped episode 379. And 379, the title is Different Corners of the Club. That's the title of the episode that I'm watching that just dropped. Now we all know Charlamagne and Brilliant Geniuses, they dropped their episode last night and I was watching it. I got up to breeze through it at 4 o'clock in the morning. Why I'm coming to y'all with this episode is because this episode set the tone. And I heard that Joe Budden's baby mother has since had another video to say I seen it on T Surf Code. We're gonna get into all that. But this Joe Budden podcast right here, this is what I don't want. Because niggas like Charlamagne the God team up with somebody, that's not of black ethnic background, and they do dumb shit. Now, he was up there taking shots at Joe, talking about the dog. They was up there, you laughing next to White Ball, and that's cute. And everybody else say, well, Eve, it's not about race. No, it's not about race. It's just how you do things. Charlamagne the God is a fucking hater. He was never Joe's friend. And then after he says all these things that he says on his podcast the other day with this dumbass on his side, he gonna say, oh, it's content. We just talking about it because it's content. Nah, y'all talking about it because y'all some fucking haters. Let's just be clear. This is the same white boy that Charlamagne is sitting next to that told everybody in the world, oh, well, I heard from a reliable source that he wanted $250,000. This is the same white boy that told us that Joe Budden was in his negotiations with Spotify talking shit. I want to show y'all something, though. This is what I don't want from Joe Budden. I don't want him to fucking fold, and I don't want him to show a side that he showed today on his fucking podcast. Joe Budden was good when the podcast first started, right? It was all good. He started this Joe Budden podcast, and he go into the episode telling you what it is, and this and that and the third. How do y'all feel about y'all day? He go interview and everybody, introduce everybody, things that he normally do when he open up his podcast. And it seemed like somewhere down the line, he shut down. This podcast is short. Now, I don't know the last time Joe made a short podcast, but this podcast is only 1 hour and 20 minutes and 33 seconds long. At the hour mark, a little bit after the hour mark, Joe just decides I don't want to be here today. And that's what I don't want. Because when you see a Joe Budden's walk off his own podcast because of the bullshit that he's going through with Spotify and the baby mother and the Rocky and the blogs and everybody's talking about it, I don't want it to get to him. And I don't want him to shut down. And I don't want him to say nothing that he might regret. But I still want him to be that Joe Budden that we know him to be. I still need him to give Charlamagne that same motherfucking energy. Because like I said in the last one I just uploaded, Charlamagne is not Joe Budden's friend. I'm sorry. And I understand that Joe Budden is content. I understand that. But you've been talking about Joe Budden before he became content, my nigga. Let's just be clear. I told y'all that the last fucking episode that I just uploaded on my channel. Now I want to show y'all a little bit. I want y'all to hear a little bit of this podcast. Because Joe's not even there. Joe is sitting there with them, but Joe is not there. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. The podcast was very quiet. Rory and Maul had to take over this podcast, and I'm happy it's 3 of them, and they was able to bounce off of each other because this showed the headspace that Joe Budden was in. After all the bullshit, I would be in the same headspace too. Because when you sitting back and you starting to realize the people that you thought was your friends, you starting to realize they're not your friends now. This is
you shooting a woman. Or DMing hot new hip hop, period.
Yeah.
I mean,
A lot of missteps here.
I ain't played Chicks tape since.
This is the energy. This is the vibe.
We still got the rough reflex somewhere. I think we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm mad about that. I gotta take my fucking Joe Budden song away.
Nah, we just remix it. I'm sure we got a reference verse.
I mean, Fab took you off, so maybe you could just take Tori off. It'd just be a Fab song.
We get Fab to do it.
Just a Fab verse.
Yeah, pretty much, because I don't care about this.
Yeah, Tori, I just don't. Why are you DMing people? You didn't think this would end up as a screenshot? Could be alleged, photoshopped, but.
Look at the body language.
Better news though, Cap is in the new Madden. Colin
like
Kaepernick. As a free agent, I think he's ranked at 81, which is kind of crazy.
I think I read that he was 15th highest quarterback or something, rating-wise.
Yeah, well.
Which I think would actually. I mean,
They talking about that.
But I still think that
Now, let me speed it up a little bit.
Maybe starter, but certainly.
Because Joe Buttons don't really have anything to say.
3 years, but
They're just there. Joe Buttons is not really saying too much of anything. He's sitting there. Marlon them is talking. He really ain't saying nothing. This episode was so un-Joe. You can tell all the bullshit is starting to get to him. And this is what I don't want. This was the Marl and Rory show right here. All day today. And better believe people are going to be talking about it because I'm a fan of the show and I'm talking about it. So I already know the bloggers is going to be like, Joe walked off his own show. It is what it is. And he did. He did. He walked off his own show today. And if you watch the Brilliant Ingenious episode, I'm going to show you a little bit of it. Matter of fact, let's go right to the shits. Now, this is at 1 hour and 10 minutes in. And they talking about P-Valley, stuff that they normally talk about. Joe Buttons is still sitting there. He on his phone. He don't really got nothing to say to nobody. He on his phone. You can tell he's really not into whatever they talking about. You can just tell. But wait a minute, because this is where he get ready to walk off. They still talking about P-Valley. Joe is still sitting there on his phone. P-Valley was a good episode. They're still sitting there.
You're so cold. That shit like a Velcro wall. You be trying to switch positions.
They doing their whole podcast thing. Joe is still sitting there. I want y'all to see the moment and how he do this shit. Because it set the tone for the whole show, the whole day. If y'all look in the comments and everything, the tone was set when he said, "Welcome to the JB podcast." It was over from there. He asked him to, he watched Saved by the Bell. Now watch this.
Can y'all finish this out without me honest with you?
Yeah.
Like the Tariq shit, the power, the college years.
I mean, we was rapping anyway.
P-Valley, they killed
But P-Valley is just shit.
I want to go.
I know you want to go, but P-Valley is just shit, man.
Yeah,
We got you.
I'm
Don't worry
talking
about
on
it.
Saturday.
Yeah. But,
And he makes his exit at 1 hour and 16 minutes. Joe Buttons gets up and makes his exit. This video is only 1 hour and 20 minutes and 33 seconds long. They never really had a podcast that short. And people was talking about how the podcast is short because the vibe is off. Joe Buttons is going through bullshit. And he packs up and he leaves. They have another episode, I think, dropping tomorrow. So we'll see. And he walked off. And that was the last time we seen the Joe Buttons. That was the last time we seen Joe Buttons. Now let's go see what they was talking about on Brilliant Idiots. Because he was getting on...
Just like does something.
He saw that somewhere.
He had to.
No, he saw that somewhere. That's not just in your mind. No.
Yeah.
He
Now
saw
they
that-
talking
he saw
about
that
the incident
somewhere.
with Joe
He
Buttons
realized that he
talking
could do
about
that. And he loves his
the dog and masturbating the dog.
His dogs like that?
Now listen to this bullshit.
We need to talk to everybody who's ever named himself after a dog. Snoop, Bow Wow. What the fuck, man? There's some questions that need to be asked around here for the dog lovers.
Yo, that's a great.
I just need to know how much everybody loves their dog. We know what the bar is.
Yup.
I have plenty of dogs.
We know what the bar is.
And I'll tell you no.
You don't love your dog enough to do
Not
that.
even kissing him out. If my dog lick me in my face, I'll be pissed the fuck off. But you don't get your ass out of here. Don't lick me in my face. Don't pull your meat out around me. None of that shit.
We should see how common this is.
Okay. Al, why don't you look up ejaculating a dog on like regular YouTube?
What if wax pops up and it's a girl checking?
Nobody got time for this. A lot is happening right now.
Wow. Look. Canine semen collection
There
and
we go.
evaluation. How to collect canine semen by manual stimulation. Wow.
Go to internet. Go to videos.
Listen, you're going to be really pissed off if you find out people making money off that canine semen. You really sit back and think about all the goddamn sperm you wasted.
I put a lot of that shit in the tub.
Greens.
Collect canine.
There we go. It's something that happens
This is
regularly.
for breeding, though. This is what I was telling you about.
This is for breeding.
So hold on, you can jack the dog off and get the semen and then inject it in another dog?
Look at him, he's jacking.
There's another dog there, though. There's another dog there, though, right?
Yo, if somebody doesn't take that and put the pump it up instrumental behind it, then we are really.
This how shady this nigga
shit better
is.
be added to that, right? My God.
That's how shady Charlamagne the God is. He said if somebody don't take this video, whatever video that they watching, if somebody don't take this video and put the Pump It Up instrumental behind it, which is Joe Budden's famous song, that's what Joe Budden is famous for, pump, 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 pump it up. Like, his song was in a lot of videos, dancing videos. People like to dance off that song. That song gets played a lot now to this day. But for him to say that that's what somebody should do, watch somebody all of a sudden come out and do the shit. Just because he said that they should do the shit. Watch somebody come out and say, and this wasn't the only time that they came out and threw jabs at Joe. That wasn't the only time. They threw jabs this whole, now they episode is an hour and 45 minutes and 16 seconds. That was only at the mark of 33 minutes. So, they was throwing shots this whole time. I just didn't show y'all the other shit that they was talking about at the 9-minute mark. But they was throwing shots at Joe the whole time. And you, my friend? And then you got the nerve to say, oh, well, it's content. We talking about it. It's content. You're full of shit, Charlamagne. You're full of shit. You always been full of shit.
We just talking about the fun part.
Man. Hey,
bro.
no.
Dog episode.
Hey, man.
Hands off.
Hey, man. You know, I'm gonna say this. Let's pay some bills.
So Charlamagne, finished dogging Joe Buttons out, like he did on this podcast, like he's been doing on the Breakfast Club. Every time there's a weird topic that comes up, he throws Joe Buttons in there all the time. The crazy thing is, though, y'all gotta go peep when he's sitting up there talking about how many lawsuits he got. He said, I'm suing 3 people right now. And they was asking him about the people. He never revealed the people that he's suing right now. But my thing is, why are you suing those people? Are you suing those people because they talked about your Jessica Reed case? He said because YouTubers sit up here and they don't be knowing what they be talking about. And sometimes you got to put a stop to it. And you got to start suing people. I wonder who he talking about. Is he talking about Choke No Joke? Is he talking about Tasha K? Because Is he talking about the Star Report? Those are 2 big YouTubers on YouTube that all talked about that Jessica Reed thing. All of them. And all did interviews of some sort with the family members and Jessica Reed herself. So y'all need to go talk about that shit. Charlamagne can sit up here and talk about everything Joe Buttons and whatever Joe Buttons has done. But he don't never want to talk about the shit he's done. Even though you said a thing, you talked about it on the Breakfast Club, and then you had to drag your wife up there. Let's talk about that. How you had to drag your wife up there, and your wife said you did the same thing that Jessica Reed had done to her. Let's talk about that, Charlamagne. See, Charlamagne don't want to talk about that. Charlamagne don't want to talk about real shit like that. Charlamagne want to talk about Joe Budden because he's trying to be in that spot. He making all these diaper deals with podcasters and all that shit. He's full of shit. He's full of shit. He's full of it. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Y'all can sit up there and say, oh, Charlamagne is this, he's a great business person, great this, great that. Where his HBO special at? Oh, it's gone. Where's VH1 special at? Oh, you don't know where's that? It's gone. Just like he sat up there in that episode that I just talked about, the 113 episode, he's talking about he was doing all this stuff with Nori. That was 3 years ago. Where's all that stuff at? You know why all that stuff got canceled? Because people was talking about that Jessica Reed thing. People been talking about the Jessica Reed thing. You tried to joke about it and thought that that shit was going to come back and bite you in the ass. But that Jessica Reed thing is fitting to bite Charlamagne in the ass. One way or another. And you can sit up there and make all these deals with iHeart. You can make all the deals that you want. But the main and the important thing is you don't own none of that shit. Nothing. And that was the whole point. And that's the problem. And this is where it all boiled down to. This beef been stimulating for a minute. This been brewing for a minute between Joe Buttons and Charlamagne. But for Joe Buttons to be in the mood that he's in today and walk off his show, it's too much going on. It's too much going on, but I want him to keep his head up because I love Joe Buttons. I'm not canceling shit. That cancel culture shit, y'all got that shit. Y'all keep canceling people because y'all not going to have nobody in about a minute to look at. That's a fact. Joe Buttons talked about a lot of that shit that he has done on his own podcast. And all y'all did was dig some shit up. Cyn, I need you to shut the fuck up. I need her to shut up. Reason why I need her to shut up is because what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Matter of fact, let's go see what she's talking about.
And I don't know who leaked it to the media. Let me be clear. I don't know who leaked it to the media. And to be quite frank, honest with you, I do not care. Because I know who was the only person that had anything that pertained to me and this situation. And shit, since I'm sorry, Cyn. I'm sorry. It's just, it's a lot. I feel really silly even talking to y'all, but I just
Why are you hating?
clear things up. These false narratives. And if you want me to be honest with you, I don't know. As it pertains to my situation, this right here, a lot of this shit seems very orchestrated and calculated. The timing, the days things were leaked. I don't know, ma'am. I don't know what your issue is. I don't know what your obsession is with me or has been. Ever since I removed you, ma'am, you've been fucking with me. You have over a year fucking with me. I know what's going on behind closed doors in the industry. I know what you was up to. I know how you were trying to ruin relationships for me. I know about all these things. People talk, Mom. People talk. You've been fucking with me for a whole year. And now all of a sudden these things leak. So was it me? So I leaked this? I put my son in harm's way? It couldn't have been my lawyer, right? My lawyer leaked it? No, I don't think so.
Now, I'm going to say this. She's talking to Rocky because Joe put it out there first that Rocky did it. And then Cyn and Rocky, they severed ties. Now Cyn is coming out after the whole Joe Buttons thing. And now she's saying, and Rocky had released some text messages and all of that stuff. Is this crazy how... Is this crazy if I'm telling you now, if I see this on Love and Hip Hop New York, I'm not watching that shit no more. And I'm dead ass. I'm not watching it no more because I don't need for people to create storylines for motherfuckers to watch on TV. And then say, oh, that's what happened in real life. No, you created that for that to happen, for that to be your storyline on a fake-ass reality show. If your real life was so popping, just show your real life. You don't have to do stunts for reality TV. I'm telling y'all now, if all this shit ends up on somebody's reality show, I'm going to be real tight. I'm going to be real tight. I'm going to be real tight. Because this shit don't make no sense. We gonna watch, we in quarantine, Love and Hip Hop come on in the wintertime anyway. Where we fucking going? You don't have to pull stunts. I'm telling y'all, if this shit is a stunt, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be mad. But Joe Budden's whole aura on the podcast today was crazy. Charlamagne mouth is fucking reckless. And I feel like Joe Budden needs to come out and put Charlamagne in his fucking place again. I really do believe he needs to come out and put Charlamagne in his place again. Because remember, Joe Budden went off. He put Charlamagne in his place. Tell him we're not in the same fucking lane. And it is what it is. We're not in the same fucking lane. It is what it is. But I believe Charlamagne wants to be in that lane. So here come all the bullshit. And it is calculated. This is a smear campaign. Let's just be clear. This is what the fuck this is. Let's just call it how we fucking see it. But for that Instagram to come up and then those documents be on that Instagram, go to Mob Radio, she talked about it, the whole thing. And it's crazy. Because those are the documents. But they just never was in court. So who would be close enough to them like that to leak those documents? It's crazy.
I can only speak for myself and from my experiences. I don't speak on things I don't know. I don't speculate. I don't get involved in things I don't know. Right? Speaking for me. I want to start off by being very, very clear about something. The Joe that I met and the Joe that I fell in love with and the Joe that I had a son with has never ever crossed that line with me during our relationship. Was the breakup messy? Was it seamless? Was it hard? Yes. It was a very, very difficult time for both of us. It was a very difficult time for myself, coming off postpartum depression and having a newborn son, like being engaged. You know, I really, truly felt like the rug was pulled from under me. You know, I was facing a lot. It wasn't unicorns and butterflies. But the truth is that valuable lessons were learned, right? I feel like both Joe and I learned lessons. And most importantly for me, they were applied. The lessons that we learned were applied, and we're in a better place. We're in a better place. We co-parent beautifully. We do what is best for our son. Like all we are concerned with is our son. You know, at the time of the breakup, we were not in a good place. I didn't trust Joe. And Joe did not trust me. And we were on our way to a custody battle. And sometimes, you know, I've never dealt with that before. It's my first time dealing with a lot of things. It was my first time dealing with a lot of things all at once. I just knew that I'm a mom and I'm going to do whatever I have to do for my son. You know, custody battles, from what I've seen, they're not pretty. And from what I was going through, they're not pretty. You're talking about...
Now, this is her first statement after the court documents was leaked or whatever, right? This is her first statement. The statement she should have never fucking made, because she never addressed nothing in those court documents. Nothing. She never addressed not a damn thing in those court documents. And we all talked about it on Mob Radio. Everybody was talking about it. She didn't address shit. Crazy.
My 2-year-old son. That audio that y'all heard, I recorded. I recorded it because I was preparing to go to face a custody battle, and I'm doing something. The intent was I want to protect my kid. This is a just in case, you know. I recorded that in front of somebody that I trusted. And the truth is, it was never supposed to see the light of day. That was just to keep in the safe, in the vault, because I didn't trust Joe. We weren't good. I didn't know what I was about to face. I'll tell you one thing though. Nobody was going to take my kid away from me. Nobody. And that was just the mental space we were in. So I'm on straight survival mode. I'm on mommy mode. Record the audio. Cool. That audio was recorded on somebody else's phone because I was talking to Joe on my phone. That audio was recorded on another woman's phone who I trusted, ma'am. Only recorded on your phone. I've never even had that audio because directly from your phone, it went to my lawyer. Nobody else had this audio. This was such a private moment in my life. It was such a hard time for me.
I'm sorry. I call bullshit. See now, because now I'm on your ass, Cynthia. I'm not gonna call you Cynthia. Now I'm on your ass. How you gonna fucking say this is a private moment in your life and X, Y, and Z, and you gonna fucking let somebody else record your private moment between you and your baby father? And you gonna act like you don't know where it came from? You know exactly where it came from. Your punk ass should have been saying Rocky name. Joe Budden should have never had to say Rocky name. You knew exactly where it came from. So you should have called that bitch out in this first video right here. But you didn't. The same way you didn't fucking mention those allegations that was in the court records. And shit is crazy. This shit about to get nasty. And for what? Because you was about to play dirty. And can I say this? I'm not above nothing. I'm not above nobody. So let's just be fucking clear. I had an Obama phone. Shit. Sometimes when I record most of my videos, it's off the Obama phone. Let me tell you fucking why though. With the Obama phone, you can be on the phone and it has an app. You can go to the app, have the person on speaker, and go to the app and it says voice fucking record and record the conversation and still have it on the same fucking phone. So you did not need that fucking girl to record that phone conversation for you, Cynthia. You're a fucking liar. You did not need Rocky to record that phone conversation for you with your bitch ass. You just needed a fall guy so in case the shit hit the fan, you can blame it on Rocky. But you didn't need for her to record that shit. Fuck is you talking about? This is what I'm saying about stupid. I swear I hate stupid people. If you don't fucking know by now, with your smartphone having ass some stupid motherfuckers, you can record and call 911 at the same time. She could have been on that phone call and recorded that shit at the same time. Cynthia's full of shit. And that's a big fact. Cynthia's full of shit.
And, you know, I'm the type of person, like, I like to still be respectful. Like, even in the midst of chaos, like, I still like to be considerate, you know? People go through things. And people have different perspective of things. So I was just trying to be private and handle this on my own. You know, I didn't want outside opinions. So I purposely made sure that there was only 2 people on this earth that had this information, which was besides myself, so 3 people, me, my lawyer, and this woman that I trusted. This woman that I feel like took advantage of my vulnerability. So, for this
So you mean you trusted the same girl that was on Love and Hip Hop with Tahiri when Tahiri was still trying to fuck with Joe? When see, this is how this is the shit that I'm talking about. These are the grimy shit. These are the grimy bitches that I be talking about that y'all niggas like to fuck with. Let me just say this. So, Cynthia, you talking about you trusted the female that was fighting Tahiri over Joe Budden on Love and Hip Hop, and Joe at the time was living with Caitlyn, and Tahiri was still trying to get back with Joe. The same Joe that she just lied to us about and said broke her nose. The same Tahiri that just got grabbed up on Marriage Boot Camp. You trusted those girls. How? If y'all did not know, if y'all never looked at Love and Hip Hop New York and y'all seen Rocky up there, it's no way in the world y'all gonna sit there and tell me that nobody never thought that Rocky liked the Joe. This is the same chick that she trusted with her career. Remember, Rocky was Cynthia's manager now. Why? First of all, I knew that Rocky was still close and tight-knit with the group if nobody else didn't know, because this is how I know how many people watch the Joe Budden podcast. Because if you watched it, you seen Rocky on the side a couple of those episodes back in the day. Just sitting there. And then she'll add her little one too, and you know, but people wasn't feeling her, so they got her the fuck up out of there. Yeah. But I knew she was around. I knew she was still lurking in. So how you trust Rocky with some fucking audio and you say it's so precious to my life and my son's livelihood and X, Y, and Z? How you go there with it, sis? How you there with it? How? How do you trust her? She was just up there with Tahiri on Love and Hip Hop fighting her before you came in the mix. Before your time, sweetie. How did you not see this? How did you trust her? And this is why I say she's full of shit.
She doesn't know what I'm talking about. She didn't have access to anything. That alone is a pure lie. That alone is a pure white lie. You did have access to things. You were actually the only person that had access to things. I cannot believe that somebody will go this low. Like, I feel very violated. I cannot believe that somebody will go as low as to, and I don't know who leaked it to the media. Let me be clear. I don't know who leaked it to the media.
Why she keep saying she don't know and she's saying she know? Like, what the fuck is she talking about?
I was the only person that had anything that pertained to me and this situation. And since I'm sorry, Sam. No. You know the things just started happening. I just feel like I was completely manipulated and violated, and this person came. So let me give you a little backstory, right? This is a person that I met through Joe. I did not know this person very well, okay? I thought she was someone that I could confide in. I was not sound of mind, of soul, of heart. I thought that I could put my trust in her and she could give me guidance, because at the time, when I was trying to make my relationship work, I was looking to speak to an older woman, somebody that is experienced, somebody that seems solid. I didn't want to talk to my friends. I wanted to talk to somebody that can help.
She was looking for guidance in Rocky, the same Rocky that told the white girl on Love and Hip Hop, you only gonna get by because you white. You were looking for guidance in her because she's older than you? But wait, my bad, because I'm talking about the Cyn Santana that sat up there and let Erica Mena manipulate her. So it is what it is on that. And this is the same girl that sat up there and let Rich Dollars manipulate her too. That's that girl. This is that girl. So I don't even know why Joe Budden even had a baby by this girl, because this girl is crazy. She's young, and she's younger in her mind. I'm sorry. If you met this girl through Joe and you thought that you can trust her with your secrets when it comes between you and Joe, you thought you can trust her? How? We didn't trust her, and we seen her on the TV screen. You've seen the bitch in real life, and I don't understand how you can trust her. Now look what happened.
Didn't pay attention to signs. You know, I turned to a that was a wingman for my fiance. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I trusted somebody that used to help my man step out and do whatever he felt like he had to do. That was my mistake. Whatever. I'll talk to my homegirls about that. My point is, it's a fucked up situation. This whole thing is very fucked up. It's very heavy. It's very messy. But I truly feel like it's calculated. It's orchestrated. It is absolutely disgusting. It is vile. And I don't want to give this